Hello there YouTube, it's Miniforce Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this year's end of month bot hauls. The bot hauls for 2025, and this is season 10 of my bot haul series. And yeah, so I've got a selection of items that I've got throughout the month. But before we actually get into the haul itself, little bit of housekeeping I suppose. I mean, the first thing is like here we are at 31st of January, and hasn't this month just whipped by like lightning? It's like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like 5 minutes since I was doing my end of month bot haul for December. It's crazy. I mean, as you get older, your concept of time just speeds up exponentially, and it's like the older you get, the faster time seems to pass you by. And this month has been ridiculous how quickly it's all zipped by. Now, also, you can probably see in the background of shots a load of boxes. Now, this video that I'm filming now will probably be the last video I do on my old computer setup, because in the background is a new computer setup that I have bought in the last week, because I've finally decided to go for a new PC, because this PC that I've been using, this tower system, I wanted to replace it in 2020, but we all know what happened in 2020. The COVID happened, and I've been sort of hanging on for the last 4 years trying to figure out what I wanted to buy as a replacement. And this computer that I'm running this on is still running on Windows 7, and as we know, Microsoft has ended support on Windows 7. All the major browsers like Windows Edge and Google Chrome don't support Windows Edge anymore. Well, don't support Windows 7 anymore. So it's a computer that's been running on borrowed time, and it's so long in the tooth, it's ridiculous. But it still works, and I still use it. But I really wanted to get a new computer, and just recently I've been trying to decide what I want to get, and there were so many options out there. I could have gone for another tower system. I could have gone for one of those all-in-ones where it's all built into the back of the monitor. I could have gone for one of those mini PC systems. I could have gone for a laptop. I could have gone for a tablet. There's all sorts of different options. But just recently, I've been watching some videos on YouTube, and I've seen some videos on a mini gaming PC, and I would like to get back into gaming. There's a couple of PC games on Steam that I want to get. One of them's Critter Cove. I really want to get and play Critter Cove. It's like a third-person adventure game, and it really appeals to me, and I really want to get it. But it's only on the PC at the moment. They haven't ported it over to the consoles as yet, so I'm really been impatiently waiting for it to get ported. But anyway, so I've been out and bought a new PC, and here it is. It's a GMK Tech Nookbox M7, isn't it? Yeah, M7. So it's a mini gaming PC. As you can see, it's tiny. And I bought that. And I've also got in the background a brand new 27-inch monitor. I've also bought some new video editing software, so I can get rid of this Nero video editor, which is a load of garbage. I've got a new Photoshop program, because my current Photoshop program, Photo Suite, is it's running way beyond its means. It's designed to run on I think Windows 98, and I'm running it on Windows 7, and it's so unstable, and it keeps crashing, and it's really annoying. I've also got some new speakers. I've got a DVD writer drive, and I'm probably going to get a new keyboard and mouse for it as well. But I'm going to set that computer up this weekend. But this will probably be the last video I do on the old system, depending on how well it goes setting up the new one. But just thought I'd put that in at the front here, just so as you're wondering what those strange boxes are in the back, I'll put them there just to prove a point. Well, there we go. Right, so that's that out of the way. Let's get into the haul. So I've got, 10 items to show you. So hopefully this won't be such a bad haul. And something I did this month, something I did a bit last year, is I've been watching a lot of other people's end of year, bot lists, top bots of 2025 lists, and certain character toys have been cropping up on many people's sort of top bots lists, and I like to refer to these as common denominators. So there's been quite a few common denominator bots that I've noticed that I've either not been interested in or have passed over, that I've decided to pick up. A couple of them I've decided to pick up this month because they were proved to be very popular last year, and I thought I'd give them a shout myself. But with that said, let's get into the haul. First item that arrived on the 4th, I did an unboxing video because it was one of those bots that I went online, I went on Amazon and I ordered it, and it was cheap and it was quick delivery. No, it was content for my unboxing series. Rise of the Beasts Deluxe Nightbird. Now, I've got the Studio Series 1. Studio Series 1 is, in some ways, it's better than this because it's all the right screen accurate colours, whereas this one's got a lot of that stupid goldish beige plastic all over it, which doesn't look right, especially in alt mode. It looks like a patchwork of paint work on the car. Doesn't look good in alt mode. The Studio Series 1 has got a lot of egregious kibble on it. This one is a little bit better in that regard, but still, it's all that beige plastic on it. It just doesn't suit it. I mean, this is Nightbird. She's supposed to be in gunmetal. She's supposed to be in dark grey. And what's with all this creepy, this crappy sort of goldish, beige colour? It doesn't look right. Bit of a fussy transformation on this. Again, cramming everything into the alt mode, but robot mode isn't too bad. It's a little small, even if it is like a mainline deluxe. She does come with the swords, but they're still in the box. Like I said, I only bought it as a quickie bot to get in for my unboxing series more than anything else. I didn't really buy it for any other reason. Also, I wanted to do the comparison with the Studio Series 1, even though I haven't actually done that yet. But managed to get her. She's not great, but she was the first bot that arrived this month. In fact, the first bot that arrived this year. And every year, I always make a note of the last bot I get in any given year and the first bot I get in every year. And I keep a note of what bots I get is the first and last bot I got in every single year. And this is the first bot I got in 2025. Not particularly great, but there you go. Right, next, on the 6th. Now, my second unboxing video this month was rather unusual. You probably noticed I changed the thumbnail on it, and instead of showing a picture of a box, it had a picture of a package or like an envelope. The reason being is because the item that I unpackaged in that video was very, very special. Unfortunately, that video didn't do too well on the viewing front, and that's probably due to the thumbnail design I chose for it. You really should go back and watch it, guys. Come on, you really should go and give that video some love, because what I got in that video, very, very important. And that was the reason why I gave it a special thumbnail. Now, I didn't realise, I did say in previous videos that I'd be looking out for this item, and if one cropped up I'd jump on it, but I wasn't hoping to get one anytime soon. But as it happened, this month, I just happened to look on eBay and boom, there it was, and I buy it now. I couldn't believe my luck. The price was reasonable considering what it is. So I decided to get it. The final comic I need to complete my Marvel G1 comic set. Yeah, here it is. Issue 331. There it is. I've actually got it. So, yeah, I almost finished buying up the Marvel G1 comics back in the last year. I got 332. I got I was doing the 300 series, and I got most of them, and I was just missing 331. I missed out on it on a couple of occasions trying to get one. But earlier this month, I went onto eBay, I did a random search for Marvel G1 comics, and boom, it came up in the results. And I buy it now for about 40 odd quid. Get in. So there it is. There is the final Marvel G1 comic I need to complete the set. I've got all 332 Marvel G1 comics. I've got the whole lot. Now, I did say in that video, should I do a special, sort of like chewing the fat video, going through how I managed to collect all the Marvel G1 comics. would you like to see me go into the details of how I bought them? And you know, and I will be, you know, if I did that, I would be going into facts and figures, because it's cost me a small fortune to get this lot together, and it took an awful long time. And there are certain tactics I used in order to collect the comics up. So if there's other people out there who are thinking of collecting the Marvel G1 comics, I can certainly give you some pointers on how best to go about it. But I did put a message on that unboxing or unpackaging video rather, as to whether I should do this video, and a couple of people piped up in the comments and said yes, they'd like to see me do that. I am thinking of doing it, but I'm not quite sure the format I'm going to use for it. It will be a long form video, so it'll probably be about 35-40 minutes long when I do it, if I do it, because I want to go into a lot of facets of how I bought this stuff. Like, I want to give a mention to Susanna Carter, for instance, because I bought a butt ton of comics off her, all the different comic locks that I bought, you know, and, you know, just go into the prices of various comics that I bought as well, because, you know, it is a minefield. If you want to buy the Marvel G1 comics, certain comics are cheap and easy to get, but some of them are like really difficult and expensive to buy, and, you know, you've got to have a cast iron constitution to pay out some of the prices that people are asking for some of these comics. I am serious about it. It's a real, you know, labour of love, or whatever you want to call it, a real hard task to do, and I've completed it. I've actually done it, and yeah, so I'm wondering if anybody out there would like to see me go into that. I am prepared to do it, though at the moment I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm hoping I could get a video together and maybe get it out in the next month or so. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but I've done it, guys. Mission accomplished, mission completed. I have got all the Marvel G1 comics. I have finished the job. Done and dusted. Right. So, next. That's the last comic item you will probably see on one of these videos, because I am done with comics now. I have got no interest in getting the Skybound comics. There might be some older IDW comics that I might pick up, maybe. I don't know, but I'm pretty much done with comics now, so it's all going to be plastic from here on out. Right, so next. Now, my first Korean toy arrived. Now, I didn't want this to happen. I was kind of hoping that something else came in. In fact, two packages arrived on the same day. But unfortunately, one of my Korean toys like sort of nipped in, and it was a bit unusual because, you know, I didn't want, because the reason I do buy these other items, you know, these cheeky, you know, quick items that I buy, is so that it fills up my quota of free unboxing videos before my Korean toys come in, because I don't like doing unboxing videos on my Korean toys because I like to do them on scheduled uploads on a Wednesday 12:30. Usually, depending on how the Wednesdays fall on any given month and when the packages come in, usually the first unboxing video is on the second Wednesday of any given month, and then it's like the third and the fourth Wednesday. And because my Korean toys tend to arrive towards the early middle part of the month, like sort of like between 10 to 15 days, or like the second week, they do get snarled up in the later unboxing videos, and that's the reason why I like to buy these other packages to come in. But this month, one of my Korean packages, it shot through, and it arrived when I didn't want to. But anyway, done an unboxing video on him, done a review on him. Metal Cardbot S Glober. Now, I've just watched today his debut episode, which is episode 7, because it's now up on YouTube. And Glober, yeah, he's so far he's a quite interesting character. He's a globetrotter, hence his name, Glober. He likes travelling around. He actually says in his introduction, he says, "Oh, I've visited all 6 continents on Earth, blah blah blah." He's obviously got a thing for nature and travelling around. And when they first find him, he's in his alt mode in this junkyard, and then there's a guy sat around a campfire. When they go up to the guy, it's actually a dummy. And then, you know, Glober comes up to them and introduces himself. It's quite good. Anyway, decided to get this guy. He's not as big as some of the other Metal Cardbot figures. He's quite small, but that said, he's like really cool design, both in his alt mode and his robot mode. He's decently posable, good transformation. I really like this guy, and don't get me started on his card weapon. His card weapon is a whip. It's a power whip, and I love his card weapon. It turns into a big long whip that you can whip things with. I really like this guy, and this toy is really awesome. It's got a little bit of kibble on the back, but it's got a really cool transformation, decently posable. He can't really move his arms in and out that much, so that's the only limitation he's got in his articulation, but I can see past that. I really love this guy. He's really awesome. He's good to play with, great alt mode, good posability, interesting character on the show. I mean, he's a good all-rounder. He's not a particularly big figure, like I said. He's fairly small compared to the other Metal Cardbot S figures, but he's pretty neat though. He's got like a cowboy hat, like a Stetson. I really like this guy. I really dig him a lot. So he arrived on the 9th. He was one of the 2 packages that arrived on the 9th. Metal Cardbot S Glober. Then another package that arrived on the 9th. And this is one of those common denominator bots that I've been going on about. These bots that are cropped up in a lot of people's top bots of 2025 list. Legacy United, Voyager, Star Raider, Ferak. So yeah, it's basically it's the Kingdom Cyclonus mold, but dolled up in a different paint scheme. A few bits have been remolded. It's got this off-white colour scheme with the dark grey, and then this shocking sort of reddish pink, reddish orange. Looks really cool. Looks really good. I was on the fence about getting him because obviously I got the original Cyclonus mold, and I was totally smitten with that. I mean, when I got that, it was the top bot I got. I think it was in February 2022. I got it, and it was also the best bot I got in that year. So it was top draw thing. This figure, although the mould is amazing, don't get me wrong, this Cyclonus mould is chef's kiss. It is amazing mould. It cleans up beautifully in robot mode. It's got some slightly iffy knees and those sort of hollow bits in the back, but apart from that, it's virtually flawless. He comes with these extra moulded guns that go on his wings. That's pretty cool. Yeah. However, it's a character that I know little of or nothing about. I don't care for the character. And it's a repaint of a mould I've already got. I've already seen this mould. There's nothing new here, really, apart from a repaint and a few moulded bits. It's not a new figure, because I've already been wowed by the original Cyclonus mould, and this is just a repaint of it. And it doesn't impress me as much because I've seen it all before, and because it's a character that I don't really care about. But that's not taking anything away from this thing. There's a reason why this cropped up on other people's top bots list last year, because it's still the Cyclonus mould, and it still looks amazing in these colours. I love the colours it's in. It looks great. I was really on the fence about getting this guy, but then I saw other people getting it, raving about it, and I decided to get it myself. I have got a taste for repaints now. It wasn't always the case, but I can do repaints now thanks to getting a bunch of Generation Selects a few years ago. Yeah, he's all right. But like I said, he's not top draw for me. There are other things I got this month that I like better than this guy, and like I said, it's because it's a mould that I've seen and played with before, and it's a character I care nothing about. But apart from that, in all other ways, it's a brilliant figure. But yeah, so that's my reasonings behind getting this guy. I wanted to get him because everybody else said it was a great figure. I've got him. He's all right. He's great. But as my reasons I just said, he's not as I'm not as impressed with him as I probably otherwise should be. Right, so next. Okay, so then it was the next Korean figure, which arrived on 10th. Done a review on him. And yeah, the review on this, another one of those videos that didn't do very well. Now, I judge my video performance on what I refer to as the 24-hour performance. So basically, it's how many views it gets in the first 24 hours. And I have like a benchmark of about sort of 75, 80 views. If it gets that many views, I'm happy. If it gets over that, I'm very happy. If it gets below that, I'm disappointed. This figure, even though it's over 100 views now, this review only got like 40 odd views after 24 hours, which was a bit disappointing. And yet, when I reviewed this guy a week later, he got over 100 views in the first 24 hours. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed at the performance of his video. I did the direct comparison with Tobot v Captain Police, which is the reason why I bought this thing, and I wanted to do the comparison with it. Other English-speaking YouTubers who've done reviews of this, including Bolt Matrix, haven't done the comparison with the other, Tobot v Captain Police. So I've got a leg up on them in that regard. But I think because Bolt Matrix did his review on this, I think it stole some of the thunder from my review. That's the way I see it, because he did his review a couple of weeks before mine. Everybody watched his review and they didn't see any point in watching my review on it. But anyway, this figure. As Bolt Matrix said, he's got serious kibble management issues. The hard, shiny plastic that this guy's made from is a bit suspicious. He doesn't feel that great in the hand, to be honest. Even though he's heavy and solid, I don't know. He just doesn't feel very good. A lot of the edges on this thing are quite sharp. He doesn't draw blood or anything, but he has got a lot of like, sort of hard edges on him. And he's not that great to handle. Yes, he's got egregious kibble management. On a flat surface, because of that, he tends to topple over backwards, even though he's got, sort of like heel support. And that's a shame. He looks great in both modes. He's fairly poseable. I mean, obviously he's got his leg swivels below his knee, not above. But on the whole, it's a bit of a letdown. He is very big though, and in some ways he's good, in other ways he's not so good. I wasn't that impressed with him, but I kind of knew what I was letting myself in for after watching Bolt Matrix review on it. Yeah, but I wanted to get it because I wanted to do the direct comparison with this guy and the not metal Cardbot, got them on the brain, and the Tobot v Captain Police. I wanted to do a direct comparison, and that's the main reason why I bought this guy. When I saw him, I thought he looks a lot like Captain Police, and that's the reason why I got him. Now that I've got him and messed with him, he's not that great, but he's from the Miniforce toy line. I'm not a huge fan of Miniforce. I do sort of dabble in Miniforce now and again. I mean, they've got that new, Pixel Force or whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of it. Pixel... They're all got like computer pixels all over them, and they're quite cheap. And I might get into some of those. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But so I got this guy. He was the first sort of Korean toy review I did this year. So Miniforce Super Cops Storm Chaser. He's not that great, to be honest. Stay up. Right. So. Moving along. Now, the next one. Another one of those common denominator bots, so to speak. Another bot that I saw cropping up on quite a few other people's top bots list of 2024. Studio Series Gamer Edition Sideswipe. Now, this thing in the UK is shelf warming like crazy. I go into my local Smiths and there is reams of them on the peg, just sitting there doing nothing. And it's like, there must be a reason for that. I know some of these Studio Series Gamer Edition figures have been a bit hit and miss. Some of them haven't been so good. Some of them have been pretty good, and yeah. So this guy, I am not a fan of Sideswipe, so I avoided it or disregarded it because it's Sideswipe. Because I'm not a fan of Sideswipe. I didn't want to get it because the character that it was. Not that I've got anything against Sideswipe particularly. I just don't like him particularly for some reason. I much prefer Red Alert. I much prefer Sunstreaker. You know, other characters that have Lamborghini alt modes, but Sideswipe. I never had the original War for Cybertron Sideswipe, so I got no reference to this figure. But I saw other people putting it on their top bots list and saying what a great figure it is to mess with. And I thought, maybe there's something to this. Now, I got mine off, I think it was Comics and Cocktails. Yes, I got it from Comics and Cocktails, and I got it for like $14.99, so I got it cheap. So I got it like a lot cheaper than I would do normally, about 10 quid cheaper than you normally pay for a Studio Series Deluxe. So there was that about it. It was very cheap. It does have a very interesting transformation, this thing, I will say. It's very interesting and clever the way it works. It is a bit of a shell former. It's got like a false chest and all that stuff. But it's very interesting actually, and I can kind of see what other people like about it. Getting it myself, so yeah, I got this guy. He's all right. He's okay actually. I quite liked him, even though, like I said, I'm not a fan of the character, and that was the main reason why I avoided him otherwise. But because other people had put a good word in for him on their top bots of 2024, I decided to give him a shout, and he's actually not that bad. I'm quite surprised by him. Right, moving along. Now, this next one. I might have hinted about getting this thing in my previous videos. Last year, I think it was last January, I got that massive great railgun, the Gustav Gustav Schwer railgun from Toyeasy, and it's a massive great thing, and he's on there. Well, you can't really see him, but if you look up, you can see the across he's up there. Look, across things. He's on my top bots list from last year. So yeah, that was a really good figure that I got last year. And Toyeasy have been doing more of these so-called Metal Souls figures, and they've done a few more ships. And then more recently, they've decided to do some more Second World War vehicles. And then they did the Tiger Tank, and it's like, hell yes. I've got a thing for transforming, First World War, Second World War vehicles. Toy World did their FS series, where I bought, well, basically the whole line. I bought all the Toy World FS series. I mean, in that you got a Mark 1 World War tank. You got like a Fokker DR1 triplane. You got the Mercedes, was it W109 or whatever it was, German staff car, and then you got like that Steyr, thing. What else they do? Oh yeah, Kubelwagen. Can't forget the Kubelwagen. And they also did HMS Warspite. Battleship. Queen Elizabeth class battleship. Love those things, even though they got very fussy transformations for the most part. But I do like it when they do this, when they get a transforming toy of a classic or epic or famous World War II or World War One sort of war machine. And Toyeasy have done it again. Tiger, yeah. So they're YW2412 Tiger. So this is the robot mode. As you can see, fairly clean actually. It does have a very fussy, complex transformation. I've done it in both directions. I will admit, scrunching everything together into the tank mode is a bit of a challenge, especially the tracks, when you have to slot the tracks in to connect them up. That's not easy, but it is a very cool looking thing. Obviously you buy it for the alt mode. You buy it for the tank mode because that's where this thing really shines, provided you can get it, you know, scrunched together properly, because it wasn't quite fully pegged up when I did it. I mean, he's got the 88mm gun hanging off his shoulder at the moment. Also, I like the fact that they numbered it 131, because 131 is the that famous tank that was captured by the Allies and is now a star attraction at the Bovington Tank Museum. But it's painted up in desert camo. This should be in desert camo if it's 131, because it was used in the Tunisian campaign. That's where it was captured. But this isn't. This is in that sort of dark grey camo that they did. But it looks really cool if you can get it all pegged together properly in tank mode, and the robot mode looks awesome as well. Really intricate moulded detail, nice paint apps. You know, you kind of can't tell what it transforms into from the front, but when you look around the side and you see the tracks, and then you go around the back and you see bits of the turret, and it's then yeah, okay, it transforms into a tank. It's a good figure. It's good. It does have a fussy transformation, like I said, very complex transformation. Cramming it into the tank mode is a chore, but it looks good. Also, I was a bit holding off on getting this guy because I'd heard rumours that it got QC issues, because they used to have it come fitted with the machine guns. There's a machine gun there, and there's another one that fits onto the gun barrel. But they were breaking in transit. So what they did on this version, I don't know whether they've learned, they came as separately fitted parts. They came in a little plastic bag. The machine gun nozzles or barrels came in a separate bit, so you can plug them on afterwards. So instead of leaving them attached to the figure where they were breaking off in transit. So that was good. I see that Toyeasy have learnt from their mistakes and done some corrective action to solve any problems that they've had. But I had to get this because of what it turns into, and I'm interested to see what Toyeasy are going to do next. I know Toy World have stopped. Well, I think they've stopped producing full stop. I don't know whether Toy World are still going, and I know they stopped doing the FS series, but Toyeasy are going at it, and I'd like to see them do some other things. I know they've done a battleship. And it's one of the American battleships. I'm not sure which one, but they've done an American battleship that looks kind of interesting. But there we go. I managed to get it. Toyeasy Tiger. He's kind of interesting, and that arrived on the 13th. Then on the 16th. I ordered that from Show Z, by the way. Another item I ordered from Show Z, because I pre-ordered it months ago, and it's finally been released, and a lot of people have been doing videos on it. Very popular figure at the moment. I'll show you the box, shall I? Yes, Newage Romulus. There he is. Now, I wanted to show the box because the fact that they've emulated the Studio Series 86 packaging. I mean, look, they've got the blue line there with the blue letter in. They've got, legendary heroes up the side instead of Transformers. And then you look on the side. Yes, yeah, they've. I don't know whether they're going to cop some flack for that. They're very cheeky. Oh, well, yeah, wrong one. They're very cheeky in doing this. I think trying to emulate the Studio Series 86 packaging. That's they're quite cheeky of them, but hats off to them. Even though it's a bit dodgy, but Anyway, I decided to show that. And here he is. Now, obviously, the main fuss around this thing has been that Newage bought this out as a stand-in for Studio Series 86 Megatron, because we know full well and good that the Studio Series 86 Megatron, when it comes out, is not going to be a handgun, he's going to be a tank. Which is wrong, because in the movie, Megatron transforms into a handgun. So, yeah. So, Newage decided to jump in. They saw an opportunity, like a gap in the market they could capitalise on. So they decided to do a Studio Series 86-esque Megatron. So it's a chug scale G1 Megatron that turns into a gun. And they've pulled it off. But when people started getting it in hand, they were offering it up to the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, and he comes up short. And people were saying, "Oh, it's not good enough. It doesn't work as a Studio Series 86 Megatron, blah, blah, blah." You know, people have been moaning and complaining about it. And I can see why. But that's not the reason why I bought this, because this is a Megatron Gunformer, and all this is Megatron Gunformers. I have got, as far as I'm aware, I've got all the Megatron Gunformer molds that have been produced and released. And this is just another one. I have got the other, well, obviously I've got the, where is it? Let's get it out. So, I've got the other Newage one. So if I sort of bring him up, so you've got, they're about the same size. This thing, Newage Hinkle, because I've got the shiny one with all the red and the blinging chrome on it. This is an amazing figure. The transformation on this is it's beautiful the way it works. I love transforming this thing. This thing is so fun to transform. It's so clever. The engineering on it is absolutely amazing. It's a wizard piece of kit. This thing, obviously more involved transformation. A lot going on. It is involved transforming it. It's nowhere near as bad as MP36. I think it's probably on par with the likes of, Unique Toys. What's he called? I've got him in there. The Unique Toys Megatron. It's about on par with that, I suppose. Got a lot going on. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Has got a lot of panel lines, especially in gun mode. It's kind of like, MP36 and Make Toys Destron. It looks like a Ravensburger puzzle of a gun. Lots of panel lines all over everything. This is a bit panel line heavy, even on the robot mode. I mean, you've got panel lines there, you've got panel lines down the legs, you've got panel lines on the arms and exposed hinges and stuff. He's not that clean, but he still looks good. And I haven't got Studio Series 86, Optimus to compare him to, so he's a little bit short. You would have thought they would have made it a little bit bigger, but however, this is what they came up with. And I was going to buy it anyway because it's a Megatron Gunformer. I'm not saying I'm disappointed by it. It's just that, I think other people hoped for more, and it didn't quite measure up to what people's expectations were going to be of it. But that said, it's still a decent bit of kit, and I don't regret buying it. And it's another one for my Megatron Gunformer collection. And it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's good. But they probably could have done better. I mean, if they'd have scaled this thing up and sort of smoothed out some of the blemishes on it, this would have been an amazing. This would have been a better version, I think, but you can't scale up a Legends figure to chug scale. It doesn't work, does it? But anyway, there we go. I've got him. I've got Newage Romulus. He's all right, actually. He's okay, but if you're looking for a stand-in for Studio Series 86 Megatron, he comes up a little short, but. Maybe they're going to do some some feet boosters, to, or maybe they're going to do an upgrade kit to make his legs slightly longer. I don't know. But anyway, I've got him. He's all right, and he's another bot that I got this month. And right, next, so there's only 2 more things to go now. Next, like I said, I had a bit of money left over at the end of the month, and I made a few plays on some other bits. And one of the things I wanted to get was something from the Reactivate toy line, because news has recently come out that Transformers Reactivate as it's completely failed. It's totally cancelled. It's not coming out. The games developer that was doing it were probably, the news has filtered out that the games developer were stringing Hasbro along, saying they were going to make this game. They did some sort of tech demos for it, which looked really good, but they had no intention of finishing the game. The game got snarled up in development hell, and then blah blah blah. It all fell apart, and yeah, it ain't happening. But Hasbro still put out some Reactivate figures, didn't they? They put out those 2 twin packs of Bumblebee and Starscream, and Optimus and Soundwave. And then more recently, they've decided to re-release the Bumblebee mould on his own. And I passed on it. It was, when I went up to Bury earlier in the month, it was shelf warming in Smiths. I mean, there was loads of them. Like, he was shelf warming just like this guy. So he's a shelf warmer as well. But yeah. But then I decided I wanted to get one, and I went over to my local Smiths in Coventry, and they only had one on the shelf, but they had it, and I bought it. And Reactivate Bumblebee. Now, I didn't want to get this guy initially because it's Bumblebee. I'm not a huge fan of Bumblebee. Bumblebee is a character that, in my opinion, has been oversaturated, especially in the Bay movies. He's been made way too popular for his own good. He's in everything, and I just don't care for him, to be honest. But this figure. Now, obviously, news of the Reactivate game going down the toilet is one thing. So this is a Studio Series Gamer Edition figure that hasn't got a game to go with it. Also, he transforms into an off-road vehicle, and I'm a big fan of off-road vehicles, because of my RC car collection I've got in the loft with all those buggies and monster trucks and things. So I've got a fetish for off-road vehicles, and this transforms into a futuristic-looking off-road vehicle, so it works for me in that regard. So those were the reasons why I bought this thing. Was 1, because of the Reactivate connection, and 2, because it transforms into an off-road vehicle, not because it's Bumblebee, because that was why I passed over it originally. It's an okay mould. It's got one of those transformations where you sort of fold bits round and then cram everything together at the end. Some bits are sticking out a little bit more than they ought to. There's 2 prongs that stick out the bottom of the alt mode if you don't put them in properly, but it's all right. It's okay. But I wanted to get it because because of those reasons I said, because off-road vehicle, and it's a Reactivate figure. I wanted to get I wanted to get a figure from the Reactivate subline because the game's not happening now. So that was the reason why I did it. So I got that, and that arrived. Well, actually, I got it from Smith, so I went and picked it up on the 17th. So there we go. Also about Reactivate, I mean, obviously there's this news come out that Hasbro has said, they're going to stop making toys and concentrate more on games. Bit of an oxymoron, really, when you think about it. I mean, there's new reveals for Transformers coming out like every week. They're still churning out the new reveals for the Transformers toys, but yeah. Why would they put out an announcement like that? That's stupid. And also, the Reactivate game. Yes, it's dead and buried, but maybe just maybe, Hasbro will say to the game developer, right, hand over any development you've done on this game. They'll then give it to another game development studio to finish it off, and then it might come out later on down the line. Maybe, I don't know. There might be a chance to salvage it. I don't know, but it's highly doubtful. But that's just something I wanted to say. And I'm also interested now in getting that Optimus and Soundwave 2-pack. I wanted the Soundwave. I wasn't interested in the Optimus because Vanilla Optimus Prime. But that Vanilla Optimus Prime has been cropping up on a lot of people's top bots list of the back in the last year. And it's a pretty decent mould, and it's doubtful whether that mould will see the light of day again. So I'm kind of looking to get hold of that 2-pack. And you can still get it off AliExpress. The price is a bit, yeah. But I might make a play on it next month. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, one more thing to show you. And it's another common denominator bot. Another bot that starred greatly in other people's top bots of the year last year. And it's surprising how much this guy cropped up on other people's top bots list. He was, most people had him on their list somewhere or other. Legacy, United, Voyager, Cybertron, Starscream. Now, I passed on this thing because my secret choice is Thundercracker. I says, I'll wait for the blue repaint of Thundercracker, or this mod in Thundercracker colours. Ain't going to happen because in Cybertron, Thundercracker was a totally different mould. He never had the Seeker mould. He had some Earthbound plane mould, and he was a Yeehaw cowboy. He was a totally different character in Galaxy Force or Cybertron. So he never actually got this mould or was in those colours. So yeah. So when I thought about it, I thought, actually, I can justify getting this guy. I mean, I have got other versions of this mould. Well, like this style of mould. You know, the Cybertron Tetrajet mould. I've actually got two of them on the shelf up here. I've got... hang on. Oh. So I've got the Legend Sunstorm for what it is. So yeah, if I scale that up, so I've got the Legend Sunstorm. I've got the Voyager Dirge is up on the shelf there, but I ain't digging him out. And I've also got the Supreme Starscream up in the loft somewhere. He's one of my big bots that I've got. But this guy, so like I said, this guy starred in so many people's top bots of the year last year. It was ridiculous. He was cropping up everywhere. So there's obviously something to it. So I decided to get it. And with a little bit of money I had left at the end of this month, I made a play on it. Got it from Comics and Cocktails. Now, I like the Cybertron show. I really like it. Starscream in Cybertron is your typical Starscream. He's the typical lieutenant of Megatron. He's a usurper. He's trying to, do in Megatron or betray Megatron at every turn. And eventually he goes off and becomes a giant, But anyway, here he is. Now, this does come with a Cyber Planet key. It's only small, but it does come and it plugs in. Not that it actually does anything. He has his blades that fold out. And where's the other one? There it is. So he's got his blades. Yeah. He's all right. He's very poseable. Looks the part. He's got the smirking grin. Yeah. Now his titty guns don't work. His titty guns don't move. I'm a bit disappointed at that. Of course, they don't work on that. But on all other versions, they do actually operate. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed at that. But otherwise, I'm not as impressed with this guy as what other people might be. He's all right. When you transform him into his jet mode, the jet seems a little short. I expected it to be a bit longer than what it actually is. Also, cramming the arms into the back is a bit awkward. Also, mine has got slightly loose shoulders. So yeah, I'm not as impressed with this guy as what other people are. He's all right, but I wouldn't say he's sort of top bot material. Really, not for me. Like I said, I wasn't going to get him because I was hoping for a Thundercracker repaint, but it ain't going to happen. So I decided to get him anyway, mainly because of what other people had said about it. It's all right, I suppose, but I'm just not feeling the love for this thing. What other people are giving it, but so he was the last thing I got this month. So that's Cybertron, Starscream from the Legacy United line. So there we go. That's been my haul for my first haul of season 10 for 2025. Now it's time for the first and worst. Now this year I've been making a note of if I get multiple bots in any given month where I can't decide between them, I might write them down as a note at the bottom of the page and say, right, first bots, worst bots, and get candidates. And I had 2 worst bot candidates and 1 definitive first bot this month. So let's get this. Now, the worst bot. I'm a bit torn on the worst bot. Okay. Right. Here we go. First and worst. So, first bot, Metal Cardbot S Glober. I really like this guy. He's so cool. Not very big. He's one of the smaller Metal Cardbot S figures, but that I don't hold that against him. He's perfectly formed, perfectly sized for what he is and what he does. He's got a great looking alt mode. I've been watching some of the clips for some of the later episodes, and I'm sure in episode 20, well, the episode where Perulu gets captured by Phoenix Fire, and she gets put in that cab on his shoulder, and he throws the metal brace in with her, and but this guy is still in the metal brace because he was recovering from his fight with Gigantrex. And so he bursts out and escapes with Perulu, but they lose the metal brace. But in his escape, it looked as though his card weapon was attached to the roof of his vehicle mode. And I've just been checking to see if this clips onto the roof of his vehicle mode, because if it does, this guy would go up in my estimations if that were the case. Unfortunately, it doesn't, which is a shame. That was a missed opportunity. They should have put some pegs on it so that you could actually clip it onto the roof of his alt mode. That would have been amazing, but they didn't. They didn't do that, unfortunately. But there's that episode where it looks as though he actually has got it riding on his roof. But I love this guy. He's top bot material. And yeah, Rise of the Beasts mainline deluxe Nightbird. I don't hate this thing. It's just this beige plastic all over it. It should be in gunmetal, and I assume they did that because of it was a moulding thing. Because of when they moulded the parts, they had all the parts in the beige or parts in the gunmetal, and there was more room in the mould for the beige parts, so that's why it's got more beige parts on it. I'm not a huge fan of this thing. It's not fantastically great. I'm not sure whether it's got some improvements over the Studio Series 1, but there's other ways the Studio Series is better. It swings and roundabouts between them, but neither of them are great moulds, to be honest. So yeah, I decided to make that my worst bot. Also, dishonourable mention, this guy. I was thinking about making him my worst bot, but I put him down as a candidate, so he now automatically becomes a dishonourable mention. So I'm going to see if I can start mentioning those at the end of these videos, because at the end of the year, when I come to figure out my top bots of the year, it's all right, the first and worst bots, but it's the dishonourable and honourable mentions that I have a problem with. So if I can make a note of them earlier in the year, that will save me the problem later on. So that's been me, TFR Wilderness. I'm done. My January's done. Hasn't it gone quick? And yes, hopefully this will be the last video I do on this this current setup, because I've got a new computer waiting in the wings to get going. So I've been TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.